Welcome back to This Week in Weed. Let's take a look at our top stories. A statewide proposal that seeks to eliminate civil and criminal penalties regarding the limited possession and cultivation of cannabis by adults will appear on the November electoral ballot in Colorado. On Monday, the Colorado Secretary of State's office reported that initiative proponents, the Campaign to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, had collected sufficient signatures from registered voters to qualify the measure for the 2012 ballot. If passed by voters this fall, the measure would immediately allow for the possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana and/or the cultivation of up to 6 cannabis plants by those aged 21 or over. Longer term, the measure seeks to establish regulations governing the commercial production and distribution of marijuana by licensed retailers. The initiative does not change existing medical cannabis laws for patients, caregivers, and medical marijuana businesses. The measure also prohibits the imposition of an excise tax on any retail sale of medical marijuana. By contrast, the General Assembly would be required to propose an excise tax of up to 15% on the wholesale of non-medical marijuana applied at the point of transfer from the cultivation facility to a retail store or product manufacturer. This proposed tax must be approved by a majority of voters in a statewide general election before it could be implemented. Non-commercial transfers of cannabis would not be subject to taxation. The measure is supported by a broad coalition of drug law reform organizations, including NORML, the American Civil Liberties Union of Colorado, SAFER, Sensible Colorado, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, Students for Sensible Drug Policy, the Drug Policy Alliance, and the Marijuana Policy Project. Full text of the initiative is available online at www.regulatemarijuana.org. Federal officials should reclassify cannabis under federal law and permit long-stifled research into a potential trove of the plant's therapeutic applications, according to a review published in February's issue of the journal Mayo Clinic Proceedings, a peer-reviewed journal sponsored by Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. The review, entitled Blurred Boundaries, the Therapeutics and Politics of Medical Marijuana, states, bureaucratic hurdles not erected for other potential pharmaceuticals continue to interfere with legitimate cannabis research. The federal government instituted its 1970 ban in the absence of scientific evidence supporting its position. It maintains the ban, despite scientific evidence suggesting that cannabis could have positive effects on the many organ systems endocannabinoid activity modulates. It concludes, because of this modern-day prohibition, opportunities to further study marijuana's risks and benefits and develop new pharmacotherapies are squandered. It is high time for the federal government to reclassify marijuana so that it has the same status as certain opiates and stimulants. By forcing marijuana to languish as a Schedule I drug with a high potential for abuse, no accepted medical use, and no accepted safety for use in medically supervised treatment, the federal government thumbs an illogical nose at contemporary public sentiment, recent scientific discoveries, and potentially head-to-toe therapeutic breakthroughs. This reclassification would be a first step towards reconciling federal and state law and permitting long-stifled research into a potential trove of therapeutic applications to commence. That's it for This Week in Weed. Check back next Thursday for more top stories.